Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we will again be returning to the battle arena. This week we will have a trio of 3 Utahraptors facing off against a white rhinoceros. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, let's look at the white rhinoceros. Size. White rhinos can go up to 5.1 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh an impressive 5,100 pounds. Strength. Rhinos can lift up to 1,760 pounds. This, compared to their body weight, may not seem like a lot, but remember that is lifting. Rhinos have also been known to flip cars and overturn large rocks, leveraging their horn in order to generate more force. In addition, when charging, all their body weight is combined behind that horn at high speeds, exerting incredible amounts of destructive force. Speed. White rhinos are known to run up to 31 miles per hour, with at least one individual rhino supposedly being clocked at 37 miles per hour. For this fight, we will favor the more proven number, and our rhino will run up to 33 miles per hour. In addition, they are quite agile while running, especially for their size. Not meaning they turn quickly, but more that they can adapt to terrain in a straight line. Stealth. White rhinoceroses are potentially the least stealthy animal we have ever had on this channel. This is due to their large size and territorial nature. As a result, rhinos are usually easy to detect for other animals, but normally this isn't a huge problem as they have few to no natural predators as adults except for humans who are after their horns. Weapons and armor. For weapons, rhinos have their large size backed by high speeds. However, the main weapon of a rhinoceros is its horn, and white rhinos have two. The front horn can go up to 79 inches or a little over 6.5 feet long, with the rear one growing up to 22 inches long. It is worth noting that these are the extremes and most horns don't quite reach these sizes. But this allows all the force of their charge to be concentrated on a single point, giving it high destructive or impaling power. In terms of armor, rhinos have thick skin which can be almost 2 inches thick. This armor folds over itself in a plate-like formation, providing even more protection. In addition, they have dense bones that can resist the stresses of their high speeds and weight. So how do our prehistoric Utahraptors compare? Size. Utahraptors were the largest of all known raptors, growing up to 23 feet long and standing 5 feet tall at the hip. They weighed an impressive 1,100 pounds. Strength. Utahraptor's main weapons were on its feet, and had powerful legs to deliver devastating blows with said feet. It's estimated a single kick could result in a 5 to 6 foot long cut. It also had powerful forelimbs for holding on to prey. The bite forces of Utahraptor vary wildly due to lack of fossil evidence, but if we assume a bite force somewhat similar to Deinonychus, it would come out to somewhere between 4,100 and 8,200 newtons, which is comparable to that of an alligator. This bite force would mainly be used to hold on to prey, while the legs did most of the work, and then later on for tearing off chunks of meat. Speed. The speed of the Utahraptor ranges from 25 to 35 miles per hour, but most estimates put it around 28 miles per hour. Stealth. Utahraptor was likely very stealthy, using its feathers to blend in as it stalked close to prey before leaping up to 15 feet to grab onto them. Weapons and armor. In terms of weapons, Utahraptor had 2-inch serrated teeth, but its main weapon was the claws on its feet, which were sickle-shaped and could go up to 9.5 inches long. It had smaller claws on its hand for gripping. Finally, Utahraptors are believed to have been extremely intelligent and coordinated in their hunting strategies and exhibiting intense social behavior, which may give them an edge in this fight. For armor, the Utahraptor had its robust build, as well as some potential scalation underneath its feathers. Its bones were also likely quite durable for a raptor of its size. So who wins? Let's find out. Our rhino is walking around, grazing where he wants and keeping an eye out for predators. His eyesight isn't very good, but his hearing is, and he has little birds on his back to act as his eyes, so he isn't too worried. Nearby, our 3 Utahraptors have already spotted the rhino and are stalking closer. Their phenomenal camouflage keeps them hidden, even from the birds acting as the rhino's eyes. Once they are close enough, they split up and start to encircle the rhino. Once all 3 are in position, one of them jumps up and screeches to get the rhino's attention, in the process spooking the birds and causing them to fly away. The rhino squares up with this strange attacker, stamping the ground and shaking its head in a territorial display. However, once the rhino is focused on this one Utahraptor, the other 2 attack. The rhino manages to hear one of them and turns to face, at which point the first raptor also attacks. The two raptors the rhino isn't facing jump up and grab onto it, begin kicking with their massive talons. While they do a lot of damage, the rhino's thick-plated hide prevents any mortal wounds, resulting merely in some deep gashes. The rhino shakes and spins and forces them off, and then begins to charge after one of them, which turns and runs as the rhino pursues. The raptor isn't used to hunting creatures as fast as it in a sprint, and is briefly shocked when it is overtaken and impaled on the massive horn. However, the shock is short-lived as the raptor dies almost instantaneously. The other two raptors observe and take note of this, learning that they cannot run this beast in a straight line. However, after the rhino kills one raptor, it is slows to a stop, and the other two raptors seize this opportunity to attack. They jump onto the sides of the rhino again, and begin to kick and claw at its side, leaving more large gashes, some of which are several feet long. Eventually the rhino forces them off its body again, and is now bleeding pretty severely. It'll need to finish this fight quickly if it's going to live. It charges again, and the Utahraptor it is chasing knows this time not to run in a straight line, having observed what happened before. It makes tight turns and with its agility is able to escape the rhino's charge. The rhino slows to a stop bleeding and is starting to tire. Each of these strange bipedal predators is almost double the weight of the largest lions this rhino has ever encountered, and when they attack, the rhino can feel that extra weight. This time, when the Utahraptors attack, they don't blindly go for slashes up to the rhino's side. Instead, they target muscles in its legs, shoulders, and hips, hoping to bring it down to the ground so that they can do some serious damage to its more vulnerable underbelly, now that it is weakened and tired. The raptors tried the same tactic as before, where one raptor distracts the rhino and the other attacks. However, when the other raptor attacks this time, the rhino manages to smack it with its head. The horn misses, but the dromaeosaur is now on the ground. The rhino begins moving towards the downed raptor, and the other raptor seizes this opportunity to execute its targeted strike. It leaps onto the side of the rhino, further forward than before, and slashes into its shoulder and front leg, causing severe damage and distracting the rhino from the downed Utahraptor. The rhino again forces its attacker off, but has sustained severe damage to its front leg on one side. It is slower, off balance, and desperate. During this attack, the other raptor got up, but it is hurt, likely a few bruised or even broken ribs from the rhino's powerful head slamming into it. The raptors know they either need to take out the back leg of this rhino on the same side or push the massive animal over somehow. They end up sneaking back into the bushes, stalking the injured rhino, looking for an opening to attack. Eventually, the injured raptor sees a chance and attacks the rhino's flank, kicking at its hind legs and slicing through some tendons, despite the thick plate-like armor. As soon as it does this, the non-injured raptor charges and jumps with its full body weight into the rhino's healthy side. The sudden forcing of this weight onto the rhino's injured side causes its legs to buckle as it falls onto its side. Once there, both the raptors begin to kick at its stomach and back, disemboweling it, before tearing into it with their serrated teeth and beginning to eat the rhino while it is still alive. Thanks to their large size, intelligence, weaponry, and teamwork, the Utahraptors were able to overpower this rhino, who wasn't used to being hunted by such large predators. That said, one Utahraptor did die and another suffered injuries of an unknown caliber. Regardless, the rhino did die, which gives the Utahraptors the win. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Feel free to suggest any future fights. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.